All right, welcome in everybody to Thursday's edition of Daily Bread, coming at you live right at that lunchtime. If you're on the East Coast with us, right at 12:15. Nothing has started since first pitch is at 1:10, so you know we got you covered with the full MLB slate today of the targets you need before locking in those bets. As usual, the show is powered by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. You see that running down on the bottom. Be sure to be tapping in with them. After the MLB talk, we'll be getting into the NBA playoffs. We're going to run through the bracket. We'll run through the matchups that are set, and then we'll talk about the 1-8 if there's anything there that we need to. And we have our guests coming in. You already know if you follow us on Twitter, where you can follow him at and check him out before he hops on in about 10 minutes. But as usual, live on Twitter, give us that like, retweet, and follow there if you already aren't. But YouTube is the number one spot to be dropping your best bets. Let us know if our plays lost yesterday and we suck and we lost you money. We'll always own up to that. Or if you're just going to ride out Sosa's no runs in the first inning train at 8-1 currently. Let's see how many he has here. And people are bringing in their Twitter fights from earlier about Herb being first team all defense. I forget who Jay Reach who you're going at.
I agree. We're on the same boat, my friend. I think he should be on. I think he should be considered. He won't get it, but he should be considered.
Oh, it's Mikal Bridges versus Herb. Was the
It's a lot of wings in the. It's a lot of wings in the discussion, man. McCall. Who are we forgetting? Jason Tatum should get strong consideration for one of the two teams. Obviously, Thibault's going to get based on reputation, even though he's just a second year player. But yeah, bro, Herb is definitely 100% deserves to be considered for an All NBA defensive team, one or the other. I think so. I think he's in the conversation. Ton of steals. If you watched him last night, he locked up from start to finish. He showed
a steal to dunk he had was filthy.
Absolutely, and the jump shot's coming. He's the definition right now of 3-and-D. If he develops any level of being able to put the ball on the floor, that's just an added bonus. He's really like that defensively, though. He's one of them guys for sure.
Since we haven't got to talk college basketball in a while, it's kind of not that surprising why Alabama fell off a little bit when you lose him.
Right. And they're about to lose out again. JD Davison declared for the draft yesterday. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, he's.
I did not. But as you already know, in the chat, give us that like and subscribe on YouTube as well at Daily Bread Media. Start dropping your plays of the day in here. But so we already got 50 people tapped in with us on YouTube. We got about 25 plus on Twitter. So we'll shout out your comments on Twitter since we still can't feature them. But let's not get more into it. Liverpool advanced. Not any footy to talk about because we might just ban the Europa from here because who the hell knows what's going to go on there. Let's just start it off with our MLB plays of the day.
Yes, sir. And we're going to start it off with a Nerfy. It's slightly juiced. I think we need the line shop on it. But I think it's my favorite look thus far. And it's in the Los Angeles Angels and Texas Rangers game. If the numbers moved at -115 now, you got Shohei Ohtani and Dunning on the mound for both teams. Obviously, I'm not huge on Shohei Ohtani, but I think he comes out here, looks locked in, gets the 3 outs, and I think Dunning can do the same. And then I think the game proceeds to a high scoring affair at the end. That's my expectation.
Ooh, you think they're going to get this Shohei after a while?
Shohei Ohtani is good. His pitching style makes you have to chase a lot of pitches. If teams are patient against him, he tends to have issues. It's the teams that are undisciplined that really chase that have really, really big problems with him. And I think that Major League Hitting will adjust to him this season, and it will either make him adjust and become a more crafty pitcher, or he's just going to be reliant on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and eventually he'll just be a DH or an outfielder.
His first start of the season, even though he only went 4 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 9 Ks. Prior 2 games at the end of last season, he both had 10 Ks, but he went 8 and 7 innings there. So it's kind of at his spot where I doubt he goes over 6 innings today.
Absolutely.
So who's on the mound today? Our favorite pitcher to fade. And so this is where do we go in the first 5 going against Brubacher, and you can get the Nats team total over 2.5 at plus 122, or do we have to wait it out and go the full game, play it safer at over 4.5 at plus 116? Both of them are plus money prices, so I like both. Which one do you like better? Which one should we be
I like
rocking
the
with?
over 4. I think the over 4 cashes to first 5.
Over 4.5. We'll rock with it. Plus 116. If you already know from last season, Brubacher is our favorite target, other than you on the road.
Yes, sir. You was cash money every time.
I don't really want to. It's weird to say with how I don't think bad the Nats are going to be, but I wouldn't really want to. I'd rather take their run line or their team total than the money line here. I'm not trying to buy into the Pirates whatsoever, but I don't think they're a hungry dog today.
Yeah, but the Pirates are favored.
Yeah, minus 123. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think the Nats are hungry dogs. I'd just rather take their team total because I think it goes over.
Yeah, no, I'm staying off. I have 1 second Nerfy, and that's in the 2-11 game. It's Seattle versus Chicago. No runs first inning, plus 100. And yeah, I mean, we're just banking on 6 outs. Lambert and Gilbert, they can do the same. They can do the job. That's all we're looking for. 3 outs on each side. Seattle, Chicago, plus 100. Get us out of town and cash us out. That's 2 of them. That's Angels, Rangers, and now Seattle, Chicago. 2 Nerfies on the day. I got a couple of player props that I love today. And
Sosa, are you open to discuss Elon Musk?
No. No, sir, I'm not. A couple of plays that I love today is Wander Franco. I'm taking a ticket on him to get me a home run at plus 500. I think that is just due. I think I also like the pitching matchup. We're also going to play a quarter unit on these 2 plays, which is Luis Robert to get a stolen base at plus 575, and Whit Merrifield to record a stolen base at plus 850. That's currently available on BetMGM. Worth the ticket. Whit's one of those guys that tends to get them in bunches. Robert had 3 straight games with one and then did not have one last game. I like him to get one here, even though he has still hit the ball while he hit a home run yesterday. So Whit Merrifield and Luis Robert to each record a stolen base. If you were to parlay them both, it would be plus 63.12, and that's available on BetMGM.
I'm going with another money line today. We're gonna be fading the Tigers here. We'll take the Royals on the money line at minus 122. We faded Casey Mize earlier in the season. His numbers, he is 2-1 against them, but he has a 4.88 ERA, and his overall team's record's 2-4. So the bats kind of get up when he's been playing against the Royals historically. And then Greinke, he's had more than enough starts against them. Last season when he was with the D-backs, it didn't start off too hot, but when he was pitching with the Royals against them, he's been money. So I rock the Royals on the money line at home at minus 122.
Yes, sir. And I just got to get the number on Wander Franco. Like I said, I'm taking a ticket on Wander to hit a homer, and I am going with his total bases if it's not supremely juiced right now. I'm literally about to bet it right now. And the number is on Wander, 1.5 at minus 110. 1.5 total bases, over 1.5 total bases. Wander Franco, minus 110.
Anything else in the MLB we want to talk about? Because I know you got to buckle up. NBA playoffs talk. The first time we're going to be breaking down the series. It's going to be long, but it'll be a good time. We ready?
Let's go. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it.
All right, Ryan. Even though you're salty that you aren't the first Nuggets fan to make the appearance on Daily Bread Media, we're bringing in at Nonsense Hip Hop on Twitter. You can see him on Nonsense at Apple Spotify, everywhere you get for him. New Jersey artist, sorry. And he's joining us live today to talk about the NBA playoffs. You can see he's rocking his Jokic jersey, so that makes Sosa extremely happy here. But how you doing, my man?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, Rex and Sosa. I really appreciate this. I love basketball. I love music, so I love to be able to spread the love with people over Twitter and YouTube. So thanks for having me.
Sosa, you got anything to welcome him in, or any thoughts? Or
thanks for joining us, man. I love to have these conversations with the Jokic fans and the Denver fans, et cetera, et cetera.
The last year has been great because I've been a Nuggets fan since 2003, ever since since Carmelo Anthony got drafted. And so being a Nuggets fan has been pretty hard over the years. We had some ups, we had a lot of downs. But one thing that we could cheer about is that Jokic got the MVP last year. And another thing that we're probably going to cheer about is that Jokic is going to win the MVP again this year. Sosa, I know me and Sosa had a long conversation about this before, guys, and Sosa doesn't agree with me. He wants me to say who's better without using advanced stats.
Please.
I mean, sometimes you need those advanced stats, though, right?
For what? We talking basketball.
Yeah, we're talking about. But even with talking basketball, his points. Yeah,
I wanted to see.
Joel Embiid got him in points. You don't got him in. You don't got him in rebounds. Don't got him in assists. Don't got him in double doubles, triple doubles. That's
what about 30-point games and 40-point games?
Jokic got both of those. Not more, but Jokic got both of those though.
Not as many as Joel.
Can we talk about something? I mean, I don't really want to start this beef again, this East Coast West Coast rivalry beef that used to exist. But can we also talk about how the East is a little bit watered down after everything being a little bit closer after all these years? The East is pretty top heavy as compared to the West, which goes down pretty deep.
That's not true.
What?
Yeah. Let me read it back for you so we can be clear here. All right, let's pull up some advanced stats. All right, just really quick. The 10th seed in the East is 43 and 39.
43 and 39, the 10th seed.
10th seed in the West is 34 and 48 after last night.
Was that who was that? That was
outside of the top four seeds. Outside of the top four seeds in the West, it kind of that's watered down.
Outside the top four?
Yeah, well, 5, I guess. We'll go 5. I guess I'll allow Utah.
You're not gonna bring us in there?
No.
No.
Oh,
because we were too close. You're saying because we were too close to Minnesota?
I mean, you're one game ahead of a plan.
But to me, that shows the competitiveness of the West Coast. You see, like the East Coast, you got
competitiveness or
I don't know.
Attrition?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that we face more than you guys had to face with less. You know,
according to this graph, which is MVP. I'm looking at this graph right here, and it's
that's what they're looking at these days, right? They're looking at graphs. They're looking at triple doubles. They're looking at what looks.
No video though. No video. Just.
I can send you some. I can send you some clips.
Do you think? What about the LaMelo in the Backwoods video coming out before the game last night? Good look, bad look.
I mean, it's a great look for LaMelo. I mean, he's living his life, but as Goose just put in the I think it was Goose, but got smacked back to back. Like last night wasn't even a contest.
He put up 28, 8 and 5 or 5 and 8 at the end of the day. Some of it might have been watered down because that game got done early and over. But we brought nonsense on here. We'll talk music in a little bit, but he wants to, and we'll go through some brackets, go through some matchups real quickly. So let's just start it off in the East with probably the easiest one to call: Bucks, Bulls. Nonsense. Who do you got going through there?
Oh, that's easy. I got for Bucks and Bulls. I got the Bucks in 5. Bucks in 5 on that one.
So you think the Bulls get one, or do you think it's going to be a sweep?
Get the vacuums out. This shit finna be fast and clean.
We won't talk about the 1 seeds. We'll have the 1 seeds going through there just to keep it a little bit shorter. But let's hop over to the West, and one that I think we might have some back and forth with, and maybe not if Luka does not play, but Utah and Dallas. I don't want to pick Utah here, but if Luka's actually not going to play, I think it could be a little bit of false alarms there. But do you guys think Luka plays game 1?
Yeah, I've been hearing that, like, even his teammates are saying that, like, he's gonna play, and I just think that it's just like a mental thing. People are trying to get the Jazz are trying to get excited. The Jazz are on the decline ever since the Joe Ingles and then him getting injured and him getting traded and everything like that. I just think that they just don't have it. I think I think Rudy Gobert, as a Nuggets fan, I think Rudy Gobert is slightly overrated. I think he's a great player. I think he is a great player. I think some of the criticism he gets isn't deserved, but I think he is slightly overrated for what we're talking about for basketball because he hasn't done much in the playoffs, right? Donovan Mitchell, I think he's almost there. I just think there's friction there between him and Rudy Gobert, but I also just think that Luka Doncic is going to have his way with that team, and they're going to win in 5.
Woo. If Luka's unavailable for any time, I like the Utah Jazz to clean these boys up.
I agree.
They're not winning shit without Luka. I mean, if Luka doesn't play or is not 100%, I like them to win. I like them to win going away.
To what GVO Dale saying down there, Dale, definitely agree with that. I'm going to take the +5 probably in game 1 regardless. That's going to be a fade that everyone's, ooh, look at me. I got the Jazz at the +3 tickets. I think Dallas comes out hot game 1 without Luka, even if it's there. So don't be scared. You got to go to church then.
If Luka don't play game 1, I will tell. I'm saying it live on TV, on YouTube right now. Jazz by 15 minimum.
Ooh, 15.
We might have to do a lunch bet there. Didn't work out for me too well the last time we did that, but I picked Inter against Liverpool, so you should have given me better odds or anything like that.
Without Luka in a playoff setting, these boys getting smoked.
You're going to see Jason Kidd do what every team has done to Gobert in the playoffs. They're just going to scheme him out and make him just sit on the bench. And if he doesn't play 15 minutes, then yeah, I think the Jazz win by that and just go small and run him out, sure. But if they're going to leave Gobert in there and let him get exposed and what we see in every playoff series in and out.
And actually, if there's any player like that could well, if we're talking about without Luka, then yeah. But if there's any player that could like make Rudy really expose Rudy Gobert, I think it is Luka Doncic. I think.
Notice I led with that as well. I led with if Luka was unavailable for any.
Yeah, that's very true.
You don't think our man Jalen Brunson's going to put him in the post and cook him?
No.
All right, let's stay out west. Minnesota, Memphis. Easy, right?
Yeah, I got I think I had I got them winning. I got Minnesota winning 1 game in Minnesota because Cat turns like Super Saiyan. Listen, I'm a Cat fan. He's from New Jersey. But I also think I don't know. I think there's a little bit too much to do about the whole them celebrating, and I think they're psyched up about it. But I think Memphis is gonna smack them down pretty quickly. Memphis is 20 and 2 without Ja Morant, which is ridiculous. So they don't even need Ja Morant, I think, to beat Minnesota. So I think that's
he's back though. He's back. So I agree with what you're saying. I love Ant Edwards. I love the way this team fought. I think they could possibly get 1. Maybe 2. I highly doubt the 2, but I like this Memphis team going away. They're deeper. They can force you to play the way they want, and Minnesota has too many lapses offensively where they rely on the 3-pointer for too much. For me, I'm rocking with Memphis in 5 at the worst.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll save the 2 big ones for last. Brooklyn, Boston. Is this going to be the most ISO series of all time?
Yes. Yes.
Boston moving the ball. Boston be moving the ball.
But I don't know. I think there's going to be some ISO here, especially come playoff time when the half-court defense actually starts to play a little bit more. I think we're going to see Boston fall into that trap a little bit too much and let the Nets keep this series interesting. In my opinion, I think Boston comes through and wins this series. I'm still not just going to rely on this Nets team in 7 games. I do think this does go to 7 just because the Nets offense does obviously have that, and KD and Kyrie, it can pop for 130 any given night. They're just going to have to outscore it enough. And even though I just think if the Nets had a better coach than Nash, they could win the series. I just think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree. I got a very competitive and entertaining series. Although I kind of want to see, because this is the next round. Yeah, I would kind of want to see Brooklyn play the Bucks. Like I just want to see that again. I think everyone wants to see
Boston
that.
in 6.
But I got Boston in 6. This year I got a lot of 6s, by the way. A lot of teams in 6, because I just think that it's pretty even with the teams that are in the playoffs.
All right, we'll wrap it up with our the last 2 in the first round. Then we'll speed through the semis and the finals here. We'll stick with the Sixers and the Raptors. It's going game 7 to 7 games. It always does with the Sixers and the Raptors. And I'm not going against the Sixers on the stream. Sixers in 7.
So I got Sixers in 6. But this is something that before I picked this, I didn't know this. I didn't really think about Thibault not being able to play in Toronto, which is like huge. So like, if that's the case, then I think it might go 7. I don't know.
There's like some aspects of it where do we really need him to lock down? I mean, yeah, Siakam can get there, but can Thibault really control him that much? We haven't seen it too well, and that's kind of where without him on offense, we've looked much more fluid. So that's where if we had to, I wouldn't mind seeing his minutes decrease than his normal amount and maybe even take him off the bench, in my opinion, in this series, get us a little bit more offense here just because what he does, I just don't want to see teams sag off to the foul line on him. At least he's a threat to shoot the ball, but it's ugly every time it goes up.
I mean, James Harden also has to show up.
I'm going to say it again. We don't need James Harden to go for 30, but I need him to go for 20 to 25, and we'll be fine.
Every night.
I got the Sixers in 5 or 6. Call me a fan, call me a homer. I love Nick Nurse. I think that I believe in 21 to be special. I believe that he will be special, and if he can be that guy, handle business. That's just where I'm at with things.
Yeah. All right. Let's go Warriors, Nuggets, the big one, probably the best series other than this. I don't know. There's 3 of them that are solid fire series to start it off. Nonsense, we'll let you go first because you gotta.
So, historically, Golden State Nuggets has not been pretty. We haven't done too well against them. But I'm here to say that if everything lines up well, I got Nuggets in 6. And that's specifically if Steph Curry doesn't play in the first game or 2. I think it might be another Luka thing where they're just like trying to get into our heads and he's going to like be fine for game 1. But I think that like that Klay Thompson, Steph Curry and Draymond Green trio hasn't played enough this year with these new pieces. And I'm as a fan, I just got to want to believe that the Nuggets are going to pull us through. I also think that, Jokic is going to expose the fact that, like, they don't have a big man that can hold him. Also, having DeMarcus Cousins play backup to Jokic is going to expose Golden State's problems down low. So that's why I say Nuggets in 6. I know it's pretty risky. I saw someone said blasphemy, but we'll see.
That's one of the nicer comments we get sometimes. So that's a compliment, if anything, because there's. But in this series, it's the health that's the biggest piece here because it's hard to go against Kerr in the first round series if you're going to tell me Klay, Steph, and Draymond are going to play all their allocated minutes and there won't be any minutes restrictions there. And that's just kind of where my biggest piece is. I think Poole, I don't know if he's a trendy player prop target right now. I don't know if he's going to be able to have the best series and the best playoff runs. For his case, I hope he does because he's about and looking to get paid, so he definitely needs one here, and this playoff run can do it. I don't know if he's going to force it, but Sosa, you're not even letting it get to game 4.
Oh, yeah. That's you call disrespect if you want, but if you're telling me that Steph, Klay, and Dre are going to be on the floor together, They gonna whoop y'all ass.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They gonna beat the shit out of y'all.
And the only thing
they gonna dog walk y'all and smoke y'all and beat the fuck out of y'all. If Steph Curry and those two other guys are playing, it's gonna be glorious because they're gonna beat the shit out of y'all.
I always forget I think the head-to-head matchup this year. I think we got them this year, or closer.
Those three didn't play.
Actually, one. I think I'm pretty sure one game Steph didn't play.
Both boy.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. I'm.
Who's gonna put the clamps on Steph? It will be Barton.
They don't guard any fucking body. They give up 100. I mean, their center can't fucking guard anybody, and the only time they win games is when they get to the fourth quarter and they gotta slow it down to like a snail's pace.
And that's what
basketball.
That's playoff basketball.
Okay,
that's playoff basketball is a slow grinded out, and they don't have that. They don't have that. And if one of those pieces are out. That whole poetry, emotion thing doesn't work with Jordan Poole. I know, but also the storyline would be better if Jokic could do this. If Jokic wins MVP and then wins in the first round against the Golden State Warriors, I mean, he's GOAT level at that point.
Bro, I love European Brad Miller, bro. He's like my favorite. I love him.
I love Hakeem Olajuwon 2.0. Great value, Hakeem Olajuwon. I love him too. All right.
Great value,
Hakeem Olajuwon.
I can't. Oh no, that was cute. That was cute. I like that. That was cute. I like that.
All right, nonsense. Who do you got in the next round of the series? Just because I don't have it up for exactly who you got.
So for me, for the next round, I have Phoenix in the West. I have Phoenix in 6 against Dallas. And I have, once again, Nuggets in 6 against Memphis. But if Golden State were to go, just to appease Sosa, if Golden State were to go, I'd pick Golden State in 6 against.
Ooh, you think Memphis goes down the next round regardless?
Yeah, I think.
Say with me for our viral hero from the Suns last year. Warriors in 4. Warriors in 4.
Yeah.
How you got the East shaking out?
The East, I have Miami playing the Sixers, and I have Philly in 6, believe it or not. I think Miami gets exposed there too. I think Miami is a hard-nosed team, but I think Joel Embiid is just too much. I have Bucks and Boston. I have Bucks in 6 for that one as well.
Warriors in 4.
And then who do you got in the finals then?
In the NBA, in the conference finals, I have Phoenix in 5. I came back down to earth. I have Phoenix in 5, and that's being generous too. It could be a sweep
in the finals.
It would no. It might be a sweep, but and then I have Bucks winning in 6 against the Sixers.
No, he has Phoenix in 5 against the Nuggets.
Against the Nuggets.
Oh no, they whoop y'all's ass in 4 too. Like if y'all
I'm being generous. I'm being generous.
Listen, here's the one thing. I'll give European Brad Miller 1 game where it's like hard fought and like y'all win like 119 to like 117.
Yeah, that's
like that.
Yep. That's what happened. What was it last year? Last year, that's what happened. I think we won.
They should have spoke y'all. I mean, like 4 ass wins in a row.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you better not giving us the pick of saying that the Sixers are going to beat the Bucks, because I might have to go back to the blasphemy comment there, because I'm currently at this day not convinced that the Sixers could do that or even win 2.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is like my second or third favorite basketball player right now.
I'm gonna make my bold proclamation for the world for you guys, because everybody wants me to say it on Daily Bread. I haven't said the Suns aren't making the finals.
Whoa.
They're not going to make the NBA Finals.
Who knocked them off?
We're going to rewind the tape, and y'all going to be like, damn, I hate that guy. It's going to happen. They're not making the finals.
So you think Golden State's going all the way?
I think that people put a lot of stock into what Phoenix did last year, and every single round they played last year, they played against a team that was missing an all-star caliber player.
That is true.
Except for the finals. I think that it requires a level of luck. It always requires a level of luck, right? And they were so dominant this year, right? I could just see something happening where it's Chris Paul getting banged up or just something where that derails the level of perfection. Now, listen, I'm not taking anything away from this Phoenix team. They're very well built. They play great defense. They play great perimeter defense. They defend the rim pretty well. And then Devin Booker has been MVP caliber all season with or without Chris Paul. There's no knock to that, but it's just something about a player that I believe is snake bitten, and that's in Chris Paul. He comes up short, and sometimes it's just not his fault. I mean, you look back on some of those Clipper teams that he was on. The talent was there. They just could never get past the first round.
But you don't think this Suns team is deeper than any Clippers team he ever played with?
Yeah, he's also, what, 36?
You're right. And then I also defensively, like having like this big guy in Aiden, like
Aiden's DeAndre Ayton's middle name is inconsistent. Like that's what he's best at. He's consistently inconsistent. He'll give you 6 one night, 26 the next, and then a DNP because his leg hurts the next night. So he doesn't demonstrate that dog that you would want. I'm that guy. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. I don't give a fuck about the advanced metrics. Are you a dog or not? Are you gonna be a killer when it's time to kill? He's not one of them guys.
And I guess, but they don't really need that. They don't even need that from him because they got that in Devin Booker, right? And then
until they play Giannis.
Exactly.
And he get his ass whooped.
But I actually have Phoenix. I actually have Phoenix in 7, and in the final. I have Phoenix winning the NBA Finals this year.
The streak would finally be broken. Everyone in Phoenix in our chat's rejoicing here.
I think Phoenix wins. I just think they're just so much better than other teams. Like
and then when they lose to someone, you're going to be like, damn, Chris Paul really good in the regular season again.
Trust me, I was the guy last year because everyone's like, oh, Chris Paul this, Chris Paul. I'm like, Chris Paul doesn't win in the playoffs.
Then he makes a finals where he basically gets to like not have one of the best players on every single one of the teams, and it's like they're all of a sudden they're juggernauts because they were good in the regular season. I want y'all to look back in basketball history and tell me a season when Chris Paul's team didn't play good in the regular season. Those tapes don't exist. He don't miss the playoffs. He just loses in them.
Loses in them badly. Do you remember that series against what was it? The Rockets years ago where like
bro,
they
man cost you so much money that's it's impossible to forget.
I mean, but
Chris Paul is such a loser, bro. They start blaming Scott Foster for his L's. He's such a fucking loser that we basically we get on there and talk about the refs. Chris Paul is such a fucking loser that we give him a pass because of one referee. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying.
No, you're right. I think his legacy needs this, right? Like I think if he doesn't get this, he's just gonna be that great point guard that never won. One of the greatest point guards.
It's okay.
Yeah, him, Steve Nash, and AI can all start hanging out together.
Yeah, Chris Paul don't got no friends in real life though.
Apparently not.
I ain't never heard one of his ex-teammates ever say they like him. It's always dudes that are on his current team. Y'all ever notice that? You don't see any of Chris Paul's former teammates he was a great teammate. It's only the dudes he's currently playing with that they interview.
You want to hear something interesting though? But the complete opposite is true of Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook seems like this douchey player, but apparently all of his teammates.
Everybody loves him. Everybody loves Russ. Bro, listen, he got a championship coach fired. Think about that. It's either him or me. They were like, sorry, Frank. Come on.
We're going to take the guy that averages nine turnovers a game. We're going to take him.
Let's wrap it up for today's show. Nonsense. You want to talk music? Let them know about yourself, where they can find you, why you got into music, and all that good stuff.
So, so you guys can find me everywhere on all streaming platforms. You can look up Nonsense. My last album was called Star Stuff. that you can listen to it there on Spotify or Apple Music or any of that stuff. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Nonsense Hip Hop. On both of those sites, usually on Twitter, I'm talking basketball and talking shit on Twitter. But Instagram, you can find like a lot of my music. I do a lot of like rap covers, I guess you call them, like freestyles over beats. So if you want to check those out, you can. And also, if you happen to be watching and you live in New York, I do shows in New York City, so be on the lookout for those shows. Or if you live in Philly too, you guys can take the trip up if you'd like to as well. But yeah, so I love doing music. It's been a passion of mine ever since I was a kid. So I'm just blessed that I get the opportunity to share my my passions with the world. So.
Yes, sir. Make sure to follow him there. He's got a link tree as well that can get you to a bunch of different spots as well. We appreciate him joining us, and make sure you follow him on Twitter. That's Daily Bread Thursdays episode. We'll be back at you live tomorrow. We have another guest joining us on Saturday. Make sure you hit that like, retweet, subscribe button. We appreciate all of you. What do you want to say?
Nothing. I was just putting the number 1 up.
Oh, yeah, because we are number 1.
And thank you guys for having me. This is awesome.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Hopefully it's not the last time.
No.
We out.